One strength and one weakness from every AMP member.
Oh.
Like I want to respond to these two. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you'll be honest,
Duke doesn't care about anything that's negative. Duke is very smart when he tries. That's a positive. Phantom is the most on-off person I've been in my life. Negative. Phantom, when he's on, is the most like charismatic, like heart of the group. Like the shoots are just on a different level when he's on. Davis is the messiest person on the planet. Davis also just tries really hard, and the effort goes a long way behind the scenes. Chris is the least reliable person I've met in my life. Chris is also the most creative person I've met in my life. And Kai is what's the negative thing about Kai? Huh.
Ooh, shit, boy.
I don't think I have a negative thing about Kai, but a positive is like he's beyond entertaining and has probably the only person in AMP that has the ability to just like flip a video from being bad to like fantastic by himself.
And that's so facts on set. I don't think people know like Deadass W content creator. You give Kai like 2 lines, and this is even outside working with him on like his own personal stuff. You give him 2 lines of like what the premise is, and he's ready like right then and there.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not directing nobody to go. Kai said he wants to be in acting. I think he should stay far away from acting. I think being free in the content creation world is his shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to dominate it like in every direction for the next 5 years before pivoting. But
I don't think he understands the amount of structure that's in acting, though.
Yeah, and it'll be boring. Now you sit in your trailer until you get called up. And when you get called up, unless your name is goddamn Will Smith or Kevin Hart, like you're not a producer there. Like you follow the script. Now, there's a certain amount you can go off script if they think you're good enough. But for the most part, for the first few years, you have to prove yourself. And you know, some people have done it, like King Back. I don't know how to say his name, but he went from like Viner to now you've seen him in like I've seen him in like 15 fucking movies. He's everywhere. But I would say acting is way less interesting than content creation is, especially at the level. Kai's pulling 25K on Twitch. I would never want to touch a set.
Yeah, that shit
I would never want to touch a set. I would never want to touch it.
I just think that he doesn't understand like when you get on set, there's an X. You got to stand on this X. If you take 2-3 steps to the right, you're either out of camera shot or you're in front of somebody. You're bumping into somebody else's lane or whatever the fuck it is. So I 1,000% agree with that. But
yeah. It's his life, so I'm in support. And I know he could body acting too. I just think content creation is more fun.
What would it take to join AMP?
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, 0. So there's 0 new members in the future. Even if like Dwayne The Rock Johnson was like, "Hey, I want to be AMP." You know, he's in everything.
You gotta think about how you incentivize people to want to participate long term. Either you give him ownership in the group, which would defeat the upside for everyone that's currently ownership, which is the 6 people in AMP, or you pay them. Right? When I joined Luminosity Gaming, they paid me to be there. Every other esports team that hit me up, they gave me like, this is what your monthly salary is going to be. You promote these brands, et cetera, et cetera. You need like an actual structure for people to walk into before you do that. We don't have that yet.
Damn.
Can't really.
Do y'all need
W answer?
Oh,
do y'all need like a fat comedy relief guy?
No.
Like just one day, look, man, lacking some ideas, need somebody run through a wall.
Like that's 10-day contract, bro.
Yeah, we had Low filled that role for a while.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was on the short list. That's why I kept working for y'all niggas.
So you quitting on live?
No, dead ass. Like you know, you see the comments, John. All right, okay. They on his dick. He ain't been in no videos this year.
Who said that? Is there a comment saying that?
People be saying John, like,
oh yeah, John's hilarious.
But I'm saying like,
I ain't see her.
If we look at the videos, like I've been in the latest one, and then they say Low naturally is next. Okay, and then there's like a lot of comments on totality of the channel for Omar.
Oh, really?
I just haven't seen those. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I just haven't.
I'm gonna go to AMP.
I haven't seen those either.
I'm gonna command F and search Omar. Let's see. Yeah, I got you.
That ass agent. I'm pushing P, and it's only 1 or 2 members of AMP that's pushing P right now.
Stop.
Wait, who's the other member? Wait,
Kai is pushing P. Kai is pushing.
What?
Kai is pushing P.
How would you know?
What you mean?
How would you know he's doing that?
That's dead ass twin for real. Like none of that. I know he's pushing P. Okay. Right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I believe you, man.
Scrolled for a while. I don't see no more comment.
You got it.
You're surprised what? I said that's one. There's a couple other.
I'm assuming you haven't seen his dick. So if you haven't,
that's not what that means. That's not what that means.
To start this podcast, brother, you clarified by P you meant penis, but P can mean anything. Gunna, I checked up the Genius definition to be correct. He meant it as player and something else in the song. So I mean, at the end of the day, P is just a variable for the context of what you're saying.
Pushing X, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything.
Have you ever seen Gunna try to explain what P is though? Because he's dead ass. Like every time he's like, you know, he's at the jewelry store that one time. He's like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like them rings you showed me earlier, that ain't P. Like that ain't like nah for real. Like, but them chains though,
that's P.
That's P.
At first, I thought he meant pounds because you know, British people say P as in money, which is actually what Gunna also meant. So that was the most UK shit I've ever heard from him. Pushing P and pushing pounds.
Listen, it's a Joe Budden podcast question. Do you feel like it's easier to grow on YouTube now or easier back when you started? Let's say when you started.
It was easier back when you started if you had today's blueprint, but you didn't. There wasn't like do y'all live around snow? I know you do, B Souls.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, still snow for people who have sedans, we rely on the Ford F-150 drivers to create the lane for us, and we ride over their lane. It's way less. Someone has to pave the way for you to safely ride it. So you saying it's easier 10 years ago is true if you were a fucking Ford F-150. Most people is not though. They just started. They're like a Nissan Micra, right? You can't be a Nissan Micra on this snowy road, 4-wheel drive, little tiny car. The wind is gonna blow you away and you're dead, right? So I think a lot of people don't credit the guys who created the blueprint. They just assume the blueprint. I could go back in time with what I know now, but it's like you can't. Like Chris Move didn't know how to make a comment. Think about what a commentary is. He played a game, thought, let me record myself playing the game. Like that's already crazy. Who the fuck was recording themselves play games? Like I know y'all wasn't. Maybe like if you hit a crazy shot and your friend had like a phone 20 years ago? There was no phones. Like so he did that, and then he's like, let me talk over it and edit it in an editing program. Think about how nuts that is, assuming that concept didn't exist. So those people, like CNanners and the Hutches who did the comment, they paved the way. So as someone saying it was easier, it's like, that's cap. Only reason I learned about content creation is because when I played SOCOM, there's this guy called Black Widow on YouTube. And I remember I had this bug and I was like, man, fuck, how I overcome this bug? I went on YouTube and he was making fun of it. I started binging his videos. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy just sits here and talks over video game footage, and it's hilarious. So he put me on. He gave me the blueprint. And imagine me 5 years later, like, if I started when Black Widow started, I'd be way past him. That's dumb. He did it first. He fucked up for me. So I watched who fucked up ahead of me. You know, I steered clear. And at a certain point, if you're nice enough, you get to the point where you're now having to be the Ford F-150. And some people don't know how to do that. So you're gonna get kicked off the road, and you might have traction on, my brother, but you're on the side of the pavement right now, and you need a tow truck.
And that's why Bill Russell is top 5 all time. That's